Shorebreak Sounds.
Welcome to Over the Falls podcast, episode number 53. This week, it's the three of us chatting films, TV, true crime, and just a good old catch-up with the boys. This week's episode is sponsored by A1 Property in Aberystwyth. A1 Property is a family-run company based in Northgate Street with a good knowledge of the area, whether it be for letting, sales, or commercial. The company has been owned and run by Sarah and Jason Thomas since 2014 and mainly specialises in property letting. However, they have recently expanded into the sales market. If you're looking for any help with your property needs, please feel free to get in touch for a no-obligation consultation. Check them out at www.a1propertyuk.co.uk or give them a call on 01970 602 755. Right, before we get into this, just want to give a big shout out to Lee Coulson.
Always.
Who is going through cancer treatment at the moment, and we just want to give him a big sort of shout to say, mate, you got this, we're all behind you, and we'll see you on the other side when you're in remission.
Yes, fucking right.
100%. Hell of a guy, and you've definitely got this, Lee.
All right, I'm going to start off with a question for both of you.
Mm-hmm. What's the question?
The question is, what is your favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger film? And you can't say True Lies.
Goodness me.
Why can't he say True Lies?
Ed?
No, it's not my favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger film. I watched it with Rachel and we were actually laughing at how bad it is, actually. So kudos on you there, Luke, saying that. I remember it much, I don't know, rose-tinted glasses.
I think it's good just to say it's the best when you've got some absolute bangers in the back catalogue.
I'm going to jump in with one.
Come on, Dave.
Running Man.
Amazing.
Running Man's amazing.
So good.
Absolutely amazing.
It's a beast.
So different from the book. Read the book recently. Totally different.
Oh, is it?
But very, very good. Stephen King. Loved
book.
Stephen King.
Holy smokes,
but they're
Stephen King.
They're making a new Running Man, apparently in 2026, maybe.
With Arnie?
No. And it's going to be closer to the book.
What's the difference between the book and the film then? As in, just give me some highlights. I don't want to...
Number one is in like, what's the name? Ben... I can't remember his name. Do you remember his name in it? Ben. Basically, the main character is like a very different person.
Okay.
First and foremost, the lie that they tell is slightly different. There isn't those like collars in it.
Okay. It's a game show though, is it? It's like the game show type thing.
It is. But the
Yeah,
game
they've got
show.
to run to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game
like
show was a bit more.
vibe, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the game show was a bit more in like almost like an encased world in the film, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? They had like areas, didn't they? So there was like the ice hockey guy, and then they had like
the guy on the bike.
Yeah. Whereas this one, they can go anywhere and do anything, and they're relying on like people to rat on him. So it's more of like free reign in the book. It's not just one little arena that you stay in.
Okay.
But
So it's like a world rather than a place.
It's in America, and you can just go wherever and do whatever, and it's very good, very different, very good. Right. So
you got one, Mitch? You got one? You got one?
Predator is straight up there. It just is goosebumps central, isn't it? At the end when he's screaming in all the mud.
What a scene.
So good.
What a film. Even Jesse, the, what's he called? The tank Montero. I'm terrible at names.
Yes.
I'm really
The guy with the hat.
Jesse
Ventura.
Jesse Ventura's like,
with the chain gun.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubblegum. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't, I don't think he says that actually.
I don't think he does.
That's Duke
Does
Nukem.
now.
Similar to Duke Nukem.
He's got a chin like Duke Nukem.
Does he say get to the chopper in Predator? Or is that Commando?
No, it's Commando. Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
No.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
There's some classic lines in Commando. Stick around.
Yeah, stick around. Let off some steam, Bennett.
No, that's in Predator. Stick around. Because he throws a knife against the guy and he gets stuck to a piece of wood.
It does.
You know what? Anthony Ryan used to say those things
God
all the
bless him.
time. Like R.I.P. Anthony Ryan. He was such a laugh and so good with the memorabilia.
He'd whip him out into like a whole sentence.
Mate, I'm pretty sure he knew the whole script of Commando from start to finish.
He must have seen it a lot with his brother, I think.
Bennett. Dukes.
It's such a hard question, but when we were drinking a couple of months ago, I threw out Total Recall. I love Total Recall.
That was his head when he pulls out that red thing up his nose, wasn't it?
It was, and the lady with the 3 breasts. Pretty sure that was
totally real.
That's Johnny Cabs. I need to watch. So I need to watch Total Recall again. I need to watch Running Man again because they're not fresh in my memory. I can't like
very very good.
I can't pull out like quotes or anything from them.
I think I've only seen Running Man probably twice, but
That's quite gory.
I reckon 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Gory
think
films, aren't they?
I'd imagine so.
7-8 years ago, I think maybe I've seen Running Man, but it's just I love dystopian stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just love it. Also, Twins. It's just totally different one, but like
Kindergarten Cop.
No.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Right,
Junior, he does get pregnant, by the way, and I don't want to start that debate about men getting pregnant, but in Junior,
anything can happen. It's 2025.
it is 2025. Very, very true. Very true. Any other Arnie films throughout there?
Have you guys ever seen Conan the Barbarian?
Yes.
Yeah. One
I
of
think
his
that was his
early
first.
ones. Yes.
I think that was his first. Yeah.
He's absolutely jacked in that film.
Jacked.
As well, and he looks really good.
Yeah.
Remember the guy who starred next to him and he was about 7 foot tall?
Jaws. Was it the Jaws guy?
No, I think it was like
was it the giant from Princess Bride?
I don't know, but it was just I just remember a guy towering above. I think I remember it correctly.
Dolph Lundgren then.
Towering above Arnie, and Arnie's massive, isn't he? He's probably like 6'2" and like obviously jacked. But this guy was absolutely massive in Conan the Barbarian.
Oh my gosh, no. I
But you know, it's been a long, long time since I've seen that. But you're
can't
right,
remember
you know. I think that was one of the first ones, and I'm pretty sure it was based on his body and not so much his acting ability.
Definitely. I'd assume so.
Okay, let's rate his acting.
Whew.
Sometimes I'm blown away by his acting. Sometimes I'm like, oh god.
You don't go to watch an Arnie film for you're not expecting an Oscar performance, are you?
No.
You're going in there
Bit of action,
knowing it's Arnie.
Lots
You're
of
going,
muscles
action, muscles, not great acting.
and quotes.
It's not
What?
Daniel Day-Lewis, is it?
He's not Daniel Day-Lewis.
It's very, very different. But
But he's insane in Predator. He's insane. He's
oh no,
amazing.
he's really good.
He's perfect.
I
Probably
genuinely watched it about a month ago.
one of the
and
better ones.
It's a
Loved
stunning
it.
film.
Loved it. It is. It's flawless all the way through. There's no real shit bits in there.
It's like scary.
good.
It's like eerie and scary. It's
Yeah.
like, oh.
And Dutch
especially-
sort of does him over, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Because they dragged him into the jungle
It did indeed.
on a pretense of that it
He's
was something
chewing
else.
that cigar as well. And he's like,
The graphics aren't actually that bad either, you know.
No, it's a great
It's
film.
still good. Yeah, it's still good.
Last Action Hero.
Well, all right.
That wasn't that great.
That was sold as one of the best and biggest films ever at the
Flop.
time, and it was shocking.
Huge flop, I think.
I remember the special effects and explosions in that were outstanding, though. There were some
Oh, they
good
probably
stunts. Good stunts in that film.
Yeah, I imagine they were.
remember
And
it,
also,
you know,
at the end
really.
of True Lies, just to big up, what's his name, David Cameron, because he did that film. There is a scene where the Harrier jump jet destroys a road that's like a long bridge in Florida, and I think it's real. They destroy the hell out of this road. with
No
missiles,
way.
and it is incredible.
Cool.
It's like boom, 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 boom.
I'm just thinking about another flop of a film. It's not Arnie. You remember Waterworld with Kevin Costner?
I actually really like that movie. I understand it lost a lot of money because I think it was one of the
Huge.
most expensive productions at the time.
Yeah.
So they just spent a huge budget on it, and it obviously didn't do what it needed to do with spending that huge budget. But I really enjoyed it.
That's 'cause it's
I like that
dystopian,
film.
probably,
I did like it.
Smokers.
Yeah.
It's like Mad Max on the top of the sea, isn't it?
Yeah,
but
basically.
Do you remember that
Yeah, it
horrible
is.
guy with a knife? I think he was almost like Irish, and he came aboard the boat.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. He wanted that like young girl, and then
Yeah.
they went underneath, and then obviously like you think he comes out of the knife fight alive,
Yeah.
but he doesn't.
Doesn't.
No,
Old Costner
no.
boy.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
nails it.
Another great Kevin Costner movie, Segway, Bodyguard.
Oh, I watched it recently with Rach.
So good.
Is it still as good?
Yeah, man.
That guy's really creepy. You know when he's going in the back of the limo? Yeah. And he's got his gloves on.
Yeah.
He's just like really smoothly going through the seats. He's really creepy.
Yeah. I won't go, because if anyone's going to watch it, just watch it. And Whitney Houston.
It's just
What a talent.
perfect-
it's amazing. Like
Great
her
film.
singing's obviously incredible. Like the storyline, him playing chess, the silk on the samurai sword,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's still on Samurai Sword.
him
Yeah.
saying how
Remember
he used to be
the-
fast but not strong when he was like a quarterback or so. I don't know. It's just all amazing, isn't
That
it?
scene
Remember
where
when he
in the-
goes back
Go on.
to the snowy place as well?
Yeah,
the
that,
lake.
that's at the end, isn't it?
It-
When they're
ish,
eating
it's like three
popcorn.
quarters through.
Yeah.
I think he closes his eyes and he listens for the guy, and then he like aims and then shoots with all the trees.
Well, why is he? What do you mean? Well, because it's dark. Or has
Because
got some-
he can like hear the guy running and breathing, so he goes outside, I think, with just like a pistol, and I think he closes his eyes and he's just going purely on like hearing to try and shoot him.
I
haven't
think
seen
me
it
and
so
Rach,
long.
me and
Cabin.
Rach paused it at that point because we were like, she had questions. Like, this was like the 18th time I've ever seen it or something. I was just like, I think he's like a bit of a samurai because he's like, he's got the sword and he's very interested in the deeper aspect of life, I think.
Yeah.
So there's more to it in that scene, and he literally shuts his eyes. I can hear him running, and he misses by like an inch.
He's like an ex-Navy SEAL or something, isn't he? Or something along those lines.
He does.
Yeah.
He does not basketball, American football. Then he goes into the Navy or the Marines, and then he comes out and he does private protection.
That's it. Another really good Kevin Costner film, Field of Dreams. Through Field of Dreams.
Tin Cup.
If you build
Tin
it,
Cup. I don't think
they
I've
will
seen
come.
it.
Ooh, you should watch
Tin
that.
Cup is the golf one, right?
Yeah, the golf one.
Yeah,
Field of
Field
Dreams is
Dreams.
the baseball.
Baseball.
One.
Gets all like the old baseball players who passed away.
I can't remember. Yeah.
It's not
I knew
based
there
on a
was
true story.
I knew there was a ghost in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of ghosts
But
in
I thought
it.
maybe he was the ghost.
I haven't seen that in,
No.
wow, 20
Field
plus.
of Dreams.
Only him and a couple of people can see the baseball players playing.
Got you.
It's odd, but they're all like, I don't know, Babe Ruth and all them lot.
Yeah, I think it is. You
Yeah.
guys ever seen A Perfect World with Kevin Costner in it? And he's like running away from the law, and somehow he ends up with this like young kid with him, and he bonds with him, but he's like fugitive on the run.
I don't think I have.
Never heard of
That is
one.
really, really good. I always remember it because it was like the first film I cried watching that film, and I was quite young as well, so I can't remember how old, maybe like 14 or maybe younger, but I remember it just being like really, really emotionally charged for like that young age, because you're just normally watching like, I don't know, Space Jam
Of course you are.
or something.
Mate, Fugitives, Harrison Ford.
Hang on. Whoa,
sorry.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
One of the greatest films. I love that film.
I love that film.
It's good. I haven't seen it again in a very, very long time.
It's nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's just so well done.
I've got a story. So my sister works in like creature costumes, films and stuff, right? So she knows people within that industry. And years ago, very early 90s, she went over to see her friend in London who had a new boyfriend. Anyway, had tea with this guy called Brian, and her friend was there for about 2 or 3 hours or whatever. And she came away, went back to her partner, and was like, oh, I just had a lovely meal with so-and-so, and this guy called Brian, I think he's like a singer or something. and he jokingly said, oh, it wasn't Brian Adams, was it? She goes, oh my God, I think it was. So she didn't realise she was there with Brian Adams. There's a story, don't worry. I'm going to come back. You're going to realise in a sec. There's a reason to this. She had no idea it was Brian Adams. She was with him for like 2 or 3 hours. Anyway, it was at the time of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And he wrote that song, Everything I Do it for you,
Yeah.
for Tina's friend.
No way. Well, and she was going out with him at the time.
At the time.
That's a belter of a story.
So in that film,
Yeah.
when I hear old Brian singing that beautiful song, and it's mirrored with Robin Hood and Maid Marian,
It is.
Oh,
It
that
is beautiful.
That's a nugget, isn't it?
number one
Yeah.
for a
Get it
very
down.
long time as well.
Oh, it's-
I remember. I think it was one of the records. It was just number one for like weeks and
It's a
weeks or
belter.
months.
I
and
actually
months.
got corrected because my boss, Arian, shout out to Arian.
Yeah.
I said, I think it was 12 weeks at number one.
Yeah.
The last episode we talked about this one. And I think it was 17.
Holy hell.
Because it was him and his
Oh.
wife's first dance in their wedding, so they knew.
Got you. I wonder if that still kind of stands as a record, because it's a long time ago, that movie, because that's probably like 90s, right?
I reckon Rihanna Umbrella did it. That was number one.
That was just on
Forever.
a lot.
Forever.
Let's put the two big hitters there. What's the better song? Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" or Brian Adams's Everything.
Whitney.
I'm going to go Whitney, big
Mate,
time.
And it's a cover. It's a Dolly Parton song or something. Oh, no, it wasn't.
A,
I think it was a
it's
country.
a country song,
Yeah, country song.
but I can't remember who sung the country one.
Nug, little Nug.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene where they're dancing in a bar?
Yep,
That song's playing.
it is.
Oh,
And
you
that's
mean
why she covers it
yes.
for him.
I remember
in the
it.
movie. Yes, no, you're
I have
right.
no idea who sang it though.
Like an old country song.
It's on the jukebox.
Yeah, it's on the jukebox.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good fact.
And when I realised that, because it was only this time around I watched it, I cried my eyes out. I was like, oh, it's so nice.
It's bloody tragic with Whitney Houston, isn't it?
What
a
was the name of
talent.
her partner?
Bobby
again?
Brown.
Yeah, he wasn't very nice to her apparently,
Probably not.
and I think he had did some drugs, went down the wrong path. But yeah,
Certainly
such a talent.
She's unbelievable.
Didn't her daughter die the same way
Yeah,
as well?
believe so.
Oh, so sad, isn't it? But yeah, she her songs, like her voice, amazing.
Really,
Yeah.
just unbelievable. Probably the best. I think you look at people like Mariah Carey and then Michael Jackson or whoever. I think Whitney's like right above them.
Oh, yeah.
Above them.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Oh.
Those 90s don't know, stars,
Yeah.
movies. Just
good.
what a great era.
Who else we got while we're on the tangent? Bruce Willis.
Die Hard.
Die Hard?
Every time.
Best film.
Well, that and probably Sixth Sense for me, because Sixth Sense is really good. Love the twist. But Die Hard, mate. Love it.
He's not like the main star
Die Hard
of it.
3 is my favourite.
Die Hard 3?
Yeah.
Hang on, is that the one when he has to go to
Taxis.
Compton
Compton, yeah.
and wear the sign?
Yeah, and the taxi, and he meets
Samuel L.
Samuel.
Samuel L. Yeah, and he's got to do that math thing with the two jugs of water.
Yes,
because
yes.
I love that. I love when I worked that out. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what Pulp Fiction is probably one of the best ones I've seen.
Well,
in a
yeah,
minute,
but he's
not
not
necessarily like a lead star in that movie. He's just a really good, more than a cameo, but he's not like the star of it, is he?
He pushed for it as well, didn't he? Didn't Quentin have him down? He had him down for that part, but Bruce was really pushing for a different part. He wanted to be the part that John Travolta.
Yeah, John Travolta.
played.
Whoa.
I think
But
he knew he wanted
Tarantino's
John
like,
Travolta, yeah.
No,
I wonder
no,
how
you're not
that would
having
have
it.
gone. I wonder how that would have gone.
I'm glad John Travolta, because I think it kind of rejuvenated John Travolta's career at the time. And Quentin Tarantino, I remember a story, him on like a podcast or radio show. He met with him because he wanted him to star in Pulp Fiction, and they went for like a coffee or a
I think it
beer
was on a
somewhere.
beach or something.
And he couldn't believe how like famous he still was pre-Pulp Fiction. So they were just walking down LA somewhere to grab a coffee or a beer, and everyone was like shouting at him, wanting autographs, and he was still like an absolute star. And then Quentin Tarantino just couldn't understand why he kind of got dropped by Hollywood, and he thought, right, I'm going to cast him, and it did. It just kind of like rejuvenated his whole career again.
Oh,
He's outstanding in it.
Yeah, he's really good in it. Because there was probably a gap of maybe, almost 20 years maybe.
Oh yeah, he
Was
probably
it?
did stuff, but not like big things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was Face
Like,
Off after Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, no, it would have been, because
well,
I'm pretty sure
probably, yeah.
Pulp Fiction was the one that got him back in.
So because he came on the scene with loads of action
well,
films. straight after
70s
that.
and 80s, I think he was like pretty big with like, what was it called? Like a Night Fever, and then like, I don't know, he had like some big stuff in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Grease.
And I don't think he did a lot, then.
Grease.
And then Pulp Fiction's probably like late 90s, I think. So there was probably a big portion then, and just
That is an
rocketed it
incredible
again.
film. I really rate Quentin Tarantino's movies. I think they're incredible.
Oh,
You
I've been going
mentioned,
through a lot. I've been going through Django. I've watched recently.
Oh,
Inglorious Bastard.
crescendo.
And I was telling Dave the other day that there's a few things right, but that scene with Leonardo DiCaprio,
the Nog.
and he brings out old Ben as the skull.
Yeah.
That 15-minute scene from when Stephen goes in, meets him in the back room, and says that I think this is all a ruse, and they're not actually after a fighter. They're after Brumhilda, which is the slave lady, Django's partner. And just all of that build up, and then him smashing his hand like on the table, cut himself, carried on going with the scene. And I think it like rivals that opening scene in Inglourious Bastards when he asks for the milk.
Started watching that earlier.
And that is just so tense is the word I'll use for that
I
scene.
got to the bit where he starts drinking the milk. Do you know what the worst thing about that? He doesn't take a sip of the milk. He just necks it, and everyone's just sort of standing there waiting for him to finish.
It's horrid.
That's control.
Horrid. Yeah.
Pure control.
Nasty control.
Control.
I agree. And he does the same with like a cream cake later on, and then he stops the girl eating it until they get the fresh cream delivered, and there's just like a really, really awkward silence break, and he makes her wait.
He's
Clever.
so good at like just being like nice, but there's this underlying threat, isn't there? Like
He's a
he would
fantastic actor. I can't
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino just happened to not stumble on him, but like he had loads and loads of people coming in to try and do that part in Inglourious Bastards, and he just couldn't find the right person, because I think they needed to speak 3 languages, which is like insane.
Yeah.
So I think it was like
English,
German,
French.
Italian,
I think he speaks French in that,
English. I
he
think,
speaks
or maybe
French.
Speaks
French
French
as
in that.
well.
Yeah.
And then he came in. Was his name Christopher Waltz? Is it?
Waltz.
And he just knew, he was like, I need to have him. And apparently he was going to turn it down. And then Quentin Tarantino had to meet him and go, look, please, I can't do this film like without you as this character. And it was just like huge payoff. And then he was in Django as well, incredible in Django.
Have you noticed how like Quentin uses like similar actors in every film?
Well, Samuel L. Jackson is in 7 of the
Yeah.
8 movies that he's done.
He is also in absolutely every other film in the world, mind. He's
was
in
the-
everything.
What was the
been
one
busy.
with the shark that he was in?
That's terrible.
And one of the main guy gets eaten in like the
Oh,
first 5. What was that called?
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea.
Yes, that one.
Love that
No,
film.
you're
I had it on video.
Snakes
I
on
like
a plane.
that.
So good.
Snakes on a plane's a
I think that's
belter.
based on a true story.
That is. That is.
He's in everything.
You are right, but
bit
it's 7
similar.
out of 8.
Wonder
I
what
mean,
his like turnover is. What he's making a year from Hollywood alone.
He's raking in, I reckon.
Isn't he?
Very,
Gotta
very
be.
good.
A hell of a pension on him.
But the use of
Yeah.
similar actors reminds me of Christopher Nolan, because Christopher Nolan does that as well.
Yeah.
Matt Damon's in pretty much every film, isn't he?
Pretty much, you know.
I'm-
I think is he in Inception? I don't think he's in Inception. He's in, but he's like in most others.
It's like, I don't understand.
He's in Team America.
I don't like Matt Damon as an actor.
Matt Damon.
But I've seen him shut down someone who tried to get a rise out of somebody. It's in an interview, and someone asks who he's with a question about teachers, and it's all to do with Donald Trump's administration.
Okay.
Matt Damon blows this guy out of the water with facts.
Sweet.
I wish I could remember.
About what was the general topic though? Sorry. Teaching, was it?
about this. Donald Trump's done something with teachers and taken away their wage, or
Got you.
done something
Okay.
terrible to teaching in America.
Got you. Yeah. There's
Amongst other things.
quite a lot of actors that very much dislike Trump. One of which is Al Pacino. I think is a big sort of like
Anti-Trump.
yeah, huge. I've seen a few interviews of him, and he's just like
It's
massive
just
anti
like
Trump. Yeah.
I've never. I've liked Matt Damon a little bit in films, but he's never blown me away. But the way he was speaking, I was like, "You are a clever man."
I tell you what, best Matt Damon movie.
It's the one he wrote, the first
Yeah.
one, with Ben Affleck.
I think it's
What the
good.
hell's it
Goodwill,
called?
Goodwill
Good
Hunting. I think that's the best.
Incredible film.
He's very, very good.
Him
at
and
that.
Ben Affleck. Dogma.
Yeah, he was good
He,
in
was,
that.
he wrote that with Ben Affleck, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought Dogma was the guy who wrote Clerks. The guy with the backwards hat with
Oh,
the
you
dark
might be right.
beard.
Yeah.
'Cause he's in it, isn't he?
It's Bob. What do they call it? There's like a tall guy.
Sound Bob and
Yes.
Jay
I
Balls
thought,
or something.
I thought they wrote Dogma.
Silent Bob.
Silent Bob and
yeah.
Jay.
And he originally
Yeah.
wrote Clerks in the 90s, I think it was. And then they did some other movies.
might be right there, yeah.
Something in my brain's telling me that.
Like
I don't know
Goodwill
if I'm right.
Hunting. I love that film.
It is
so good.
So that's
Incredible.
my favourite Matt Damon movie.
Oh,
or
without
The
doubt.
Martian. I love The Martian.
That
I'm a
is very
huge
good,
fan of that.
actually.
I love that.
Is
Really
Matt
good book as well.
Damon in what's that really good like espionage? Like there's like 3 or 4 of them, and he wakes up on the fishing boat. And he's got no men.
Born Identity.
Born Identity.
They're amazing.
They-
You're right. They're amazing. You
I
don't like
think-
them? Nothing.
Oh, I love them.
first
They're
one
all
particularly-
right. Like
Oh,
Better
I
than
love the
Bond?
first
Mission
one.
Impossible's way better for me. Love a bit of Tom Cruise. Love a bit of Mission
I like
Impossible.
the later Mission Impossibles, but you know the first
What,
ones.
number
that-
one?
Which one's the other one? Is there the one when he's having that conversation with that guy in the coffee shop and that fish tank? And
Yes.
he's like, that is a great scene.
And he goes, red light, green light.
That's a
Right,
great
yeah.
scene.
You know
With
the
chewing
one
gum.
when
Yeah.
he's like this. It's hard to do because of the microphone, but like when he's like
Oh, yeah.
being lowered
That's
down
number
like
one.
that.
That is good. See, we do remember two really good
number
scenes
one.
out of that.
Decent, I think.
But I
And
couldn't name.
the whole beginning is just like all slow and really big build up in Czech Republic, I think. And
That's
they're
it.
in the snow, and there's like, someone steals the knock list, and then he looks like he's been shot on the bridge, but he hasn't really. And
Yeah.
it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah, do you know
to be
what?
fair.
That is a good film. Yeah, I remember really enjoying that at the time.
And, oh yeah, Bond craps on all Jason Bourne, in my opinion.
Daniel Craig. Love that one. Casino Royale. You, hang on. Didn't
Hey,
you-
yeah, hang on. Who's
Hang
your
on.
favourite Bond, Med?
Oh, what's his name? Pierce Brosnan.
Sacrilege.
All day.
Are you actually being serious?
Yeah, him in GoldenEye is for me how James Bond is written. Like he is perfect James Bond.
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy
No,
Dalton?
no.
No, Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce
sorry.
Brosnan.
I was thinking of
Roger Moore.
oh no, Daylights. What's the one with Timothy Dalton in? He only did one.
Live
of them.
Live and Let
Die.
Die.
Maybe I was thinking of that one. Yeah,
Good song as well.
Sean Connery for me, number 1, followed by.
Sean.
You know what? I was gonna say Roger Moore, but I'll take that back, and I'll probably put Daniel Craig in number 2 because Casino Royale is a banger.
I love that film. I was really surprised at how good that was. I went to go and see it because I hadn't seen a Bond for a long time. Went to go and watch it. I was like, that was bloody good.
I remember Dave telling me,
Bloody
he said,
good.
look, go and see this. And I was like, really? Like a
Yeah.
James Bond? And he was like, it's gritty.
Yeah.
It's like, And then that scene when he has to defib, and I think he like necks salt water to like spew something up. That scene is so tense and so amazing. And then he flips like DB7.
The bad guy as well.
Yeah.
The Danish bad guy.
Nug.
Yes.
Nug. So that DB7 flipping
Yes.
is the most flips ever by a stunt car
I
or
remember saying that,
by a filmed stunt.
Yeah.
You know, there's no one driving it.
But there's no one driving it.
She's in the road, isn't she? And he has to like veer
Swerve
off.
and it goes. It's like 7.5 flips or something. It's the most ever. By accident, they didn't like plan that. It just happened, and they were like, "Yes."
It's got quite good nostalgia for me. The old James Bonds, though, you know, like the
Jaws.
70s,
Yeah.
80s style ones. It's just nostalgia. It reminds me of going up to Stoke with my cousins, and they had them all on like VHS,
box set.
which they no, I think they like did it off the telly, but it was all like the same brand of VHS cassette, and it looked like a leather-bound book, and they were all like on the shelf, and like Moonraker, and like Doctor No,
Yeah.
and like just classics, you know.
Remember the
They're just
character
classics.
Odd Job?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not
I remember,
Random Task.
yeah, I was going to say, remember Austin Powers, similar character called Random Task.
Genius. Absolute genius, those.
I've tried to watch an Austin Powers. I think I tried to watch Austin Powers, the first one, when I was away training in Newport, just in the hotel room. I had to turn it off.
Oh, do you know what? I
It's
couldn't watch
so
that.
bad.
I bet it's terrible.
What's the
so
name
bad.
of that guy? I always forget his
Michael
name.
Myers.
Right, he is in Inglourious Bastards, right, as an English, like army lieutenant or something.
Right, hang on.
I watched it recently the other day, and I honestly, I was like,
He is.
what? It just didn't make any sense. I don't know why they didn't
It's really
hire
small, isn't
a
it?
British actor to do it. It was about a 5-minute
He's
scene.
Scottish.
Yeah, but he
Whoa,
sounds
whoa.
Canadian /
I
American.
think Michael Myers is Scottish.
He sounds American / Canadian
What?
to me.
Yeah, I think he's Scottish. I don't think he's American.
That is
Are you thinking
blown
of
my
Fat
socks
Bastard?
off.
Are you just thinking of Fat Bastard?
Well, yeah, amongst,
baby back.
yeah, amongst others. Yeah, I think he is Scottish.
Well, that is
We'll
news.
have to-
That is news to me.
That has shocked me if he's Scottish. Because, like,
If he's got Scottish
Wayne's World-
heritage, maybe like
Shall
seven
I-
generation back.
Shall I quickly?
Yeah, mate, hit Google.
Google it, but I'm
I
pretty
reckon,
sure
right,
he is in Inglourious Bastards. Though.
I reckon his nan's brother's dog's father actually went to Scotland, and maybe that's where you're getting it from.
That's true. Played at Trump's golf place once.
Yeah, maybe. Is Michael Myers Scottish?
I'm gonna love this if he's not.
I'm gonna love it as well.
Fat bastard.
Yeah, mistaken him for that big ginger guy.
It's been a very long week.
I think I'd
What we
still
got?
laugh at some of the things on that.
He is Canadian. So well done.
That's amazing. I
He's
love it.
born in Scarborough in Toronto.
Toronto.
That was brilliant, mate.
Yeah, he's not Scottish at all.
No.
Yeah, but he puts on like a really posh English accent in Inglourious Bastards, and he's talking to
Fassbender.
it is Fassbender
Oh, I
because
guess
he
it,
can
yeah.
speak fluent German. Probably one of the reasons why he was cast. Because another amazing scene in that movie. I know I'm banging on about this movie, but when they're drinking in the like underground bar.
Yes.
Yeah, with the guy
Incredible.
wetting the head of his baby.
Yeah, and then that guy comes around the corner because he's on his own, like an SS uniform guy.
And you can see his skull and crossbones on his lapel, and it's like
Such a good
oh,
movie.
you're the shit now.
Oh,
is,
grim.
Yeah.
Grim.
And when they
amazing.
get found out, it's like
Bit of a weird way that he gets given away with like the 3 fingers holding up, but still, like it's still an amazing.
well, no,
scene.
it's the accent as well, the way he speaks.
No,
in
you're right.
German.
Actually, he said, "Where are you from?" You got a very unusual accent, and he said some like really rural place in Germany, and that's how he tried to pass it off. But Fassbender, I think, in real life can speak German, though. I think.
Okay.
Well, his surname sounds German to me.
Yeah,
He
So-
can do
does.
loads of
Fassbender.
accents as well. He can do American, like posh English. Like he can do so many accents.
Isn't he in Prometheus?
Yes.
I love
He plays
Prometheus.
David, who's this really like.
Oh, he's like a
posh
bionic
android. He's
android.
an android.
I feel
yeah.
like that kind of flopped as well, but I love Prometheus.
I wasn't
really
a fan.
like it.
I distinctly remember we all went to see it, and then we went for a pint in the Glen after. And I remember being the only person who said that film was good.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of
Everybody
it.
hated it.
I watched it with Martin, an ex-work colleague of mine, and I remember we both enjoyed watching it in the cinema.
I think my expectations were too high. Like The Matrix. The Matrix was like a... I will.
I had
Hold
the
the
opposite.
phone now.
I went
Hold the phone.
zero expectations
Yeah, but I
and loved it.
I think everyone had seen it, but apart from me, and everyone was bigging this thing up as if it was just the best thing in the world. Went to see it, and I was like, yeah, it was okay.
Oh, see, I loved
But-
it. Loved it.
I do need to rewatch it. I haven't seen it since.
Oh, really need
No,
to rewatch
seen
that.
it, yeah.
Does
You've
I
seen The
would say-
Matrix 1 once.
Yep.
That shocked me.
Yep.
I reckon I reckon I'm close to over 20 times I've seen that film.
I reckon I'm in the teens. You know.
Yeah, I'm in the late
I'm probably
teens.
in the early teens. I
And
do.
the
I
trilogy,
love it.
I'm probably
I love it.
in low teens.
Wow.
Yeah, I really
'Cause
do
if
like
I
that
watch
movie.
one, I feel like the next night I've got to watch the next one.
Okay.
You're like that with Lord of the Rings, though, Med.
Yeah.
Have you ever done Lord of the Rings on the bounce? All
Yeah.
three? You've done all three in a row?
I've done all the Harry Potters.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's like
Six?
That's like 7 or 8.
There's 8 films.
8
In
movies.
one day?
In Christmas, yeah. I had loads of people around when I was living
Oh
up
my
in
God.
Spilver. It took 19 hours.
Do you stay awake the whole time?
I missed the third film. It's my least favourite, so I knew I was
okay.
going to sleep through that one.
That is
Power
I
nap.
slept on a sofa, so it wasn't like, oh, this is glorious.
So was this all planned? You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's Harry
It
Potter
was
Day.
Boxing Day. Oh, God, I can't remember what year. 2010 or something
I
like
think I
that.
remember you talking about this, you know.
You know, 19 hours is crazy.
Yeah, it was like a day and a half.
I remember Anthony Ryan doing
That's amazing.
series 1 of 24 in a weekend.
Whoa.
And that blew my socks off.
Oh.
But to be fair, you watch series 1 of 24, you cannot stop watching that thing. It is like
it's
crack.
like Prison Break. It's Prison Break the first season anyway. It's like one of those seasons that you just you're looking at your partner, your friend, whatever, and you think like it's 2 a.m. but we got to do another one.
Yeah. Should we just do one more?
Got to do another one.
Love it.
I get that with maths.
Oh,
Maths. I'm on.
I know. I can't. I won't ruin it.
No, don't ruin it.
I won't
You
ruin it.
can't ruin
I
maths.
can't.
Maths is one of those things that's like, you've
Yeah.
got to just let people watch it.
But do you know what?
So good.
It's not as good as the other series so far. I'm in episode 7 so far.
You're in season 12, yeah, the current one.
Current one. So we've got Tim and Katie, who there's no spark.
And Elliot.
No spark. Oh, Elliot. Wow.
Little Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Has he
Mate,
left yet?
He's gone.
He's gone. Yeah. I won't say anything.
No,
I won't say anything.
I reckon he's going to come back. What a narcissist.
I think that all
Right,
the
yeah.
time about someone who leaves quite early. I think they're going to get them back. But
Yeah.
it's like 50-50. Sometimes they do something, sometimes they don't.
There's so many of those episodes, you know, because I'm just thinking about it now. I think I'm on
I'm on
episode
episode
20, 25, 26. And you think, like, that is a lot of episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it goes
That's
to 30.
loads.
I think it
Yeah,
goes to
25,
33 this
26,
one.
I think.
To be fair, though, I just want to see them sitting around that table going at each other after a couple of glasses of wine.
I quite like the sofa bit as well, though. You
Sofa
know,
bit's
you know-
good.
You know when the
Yeah.
experts are like grilling them sometimes for their behaviour. So I like the dinner party drunkenness shenanigans,
Yeah.
and then I also like them getting grilled by the so-called experts.
I
Do you
wish,
remember,
I wish that there was an unedited maths that you could tap into. You know, do you know what I mean? So like you could maybe pay some money and you could watch the whole dinner party.
Okay.
Like live.
I
Do
know.
you remember Big
I remember
Brother was
pretty
like
boring.
that? And there was
Yeah, I
a
was just thinking
channel
that.
on
Yeah,
Big
some of it would be
Brother.
boring, sure.
And it was broadcast 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day.
I remember going on, watching this channel, right? And they had to bleep some stuff out. So, like advertising, or if they were telling a story and they were naming somebody and they needed to fact check it. And they used to play like bird noises. So,
That's it.
half of it, they were just having a conversation. Then you'd hear these bird noises. And then, like, one time, they were just like sleeping. I think, like, and it reminds me of that Jim Carrey movie.
Truman Show.
It's like that.
It is
It's
like
quite
that.
sad, isn't it? Watching something to that degree.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh yeah,
watched
I
these
remember
sort of
coming
films.
home from I used to work in the Pier Inn, and it was
Yeah.
like whatever time it was, like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and putting that on.
Putting that on. I was just like eating a bowl of cereal, watching people sleep.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, no, it is. And
weird.
it is like the Truman Show, isn't
Yeah.
it? A little bit like that. That's another.
But that
great
was
movie.
season 1.
And
So
that
that was
went-
Nasty Nick,
Love that.
Craig,
Yeah.
Craig.
and
And he's got a dirty plan, and he bought in crayons and
Craig.
paper.
Yeah. He went to town on him though. They got him round the table and they hammered Nick.
No,
because
they did.
There was uproar.
Because
Like,
he
it was
bought in,
hated.
he was writing down on a bit of paper who he was going to vote for, I think.
That's
and that
it.
was like groundbreaking. That was like,
Travesty.
What?
Yeah.
You can't do
I
that.
love it.
Another thing that I hate apart the show, the traitors, right? I love the traitors. And then I hate the tasks, right? Sometimes I do drift in and out on the tasks.
Yeah.
But when they're around that bloody table, mate, and they're fighting for their life,
Locked in.
I absolutely love it.
Any news on?
No, I applied for it, but the problem is, I Googled it. Last year, they had something insane, like 300,000 applicants
yeah.
for 2024. So I've applied for 2025, and I reckon they might get more. And you think there's only like, 15 people
50,
on the show.
yeah.
So I just think it is it is very, very slim.
I'd
Of
tell you what,
applying getting on that show.
if I ever got on it, not that I'd ever apply, and she taps me on the shoulder when you got the blindfolds on at the beginning, I'd be like, oh, fuck's sakes. I cannot lie. I cannot lie.
I think I'd want to be one.
If someone asked me, are you a traitor? I'd go, no.
No. Looking down at your
Not
shoes.
at all.
No.
They might think that's a double bluff, though.
Yeah, I know, but mate, I'm
Yeah,
such a
but
bad liar.
double bluff.
Such a bad liar.
Just burst out laughing, probably.
Not at all.
Absolutely not. No.
You've actually got to say when you apply what you want to be as well.
Yeah, I'd be like, definitely not a traitor.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
where
really
they-
interesting. So from the get-go, you've
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
had to like film myself short video, like 2-minute video, and then there was like maybe 25 questions, and one of the main ones is what do you want to be and why. So either a faithful or a traitor,
Yeah.
and then you need to explain the reasons why you want to be that, why you think you'd be good, and like I guess it's the same as I've never applied for a TV show in my life, so
No.
I don't know the process. I haven't got a clue. They also ask if you've applied for anything in the last 2 years, and it made me think, man, there must be some people who just constantly
apply.
apply
Oh,
for
mate,
TV shows.
absolutely screaming for fame, just
Or-
desperate
yeah,
for fame.
all they want to do is literally apply for stuff, whereas I love that show and I'd like to win some cash.
Cash. Cash is king.
I think you'd be really good on it.
Some cash. I don't think it's going to
Could be
happen.
good.
If you can
But it'll
get
be good.
past, if you can get past the first sort of couple of tables.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I just love it. Big fan of the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
huge.
Claudia
fan.
Winkleman's great as well.
That's amazing.
She's really,
Beautiful
really
hair.
good.
Yeah, the fringe is a bit long at times. Can't
yeah,
see
goes
what's-
straight to her eyes.
Yeah, I know. It's a little
gotta be
bit like
annoying, surely.
Uma Thurman's haircut in Pulp Fiction, but lower.
Yeah. She's really good, though.
Amazing.
What's the best film you've seen in the cinema?
I go on.
Ooh,
But what one of is probably Maverick.
Top Gun.
As a film, as a cinematic experience, it was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I totally agree.
And as soon as the curtains opened, Commodore, big shout out Commodore,
Yeah.
and that dong,
The gong.
fuck me, I could leave now. I'm so happy.
Oh, I remember I went to see that in the cinema. I can't remember who I went with actually. It might have been me and Nicola actually, but we went to go and see it. I remember telling you boys, you have to go and see it. And I said to Dave, I go, please go with your dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I think you actually ended up going with your
Went
dad.
with my dad and my brother.
And your brother.
We left
It's so
very
good.
happy.
Very happy.
Very
Oh,
happy people.
The music, the nostalgia. You know what? I'm going to throw out there. I think it's better than the first one. Because I watched it recently. I watched it like in the last 2 months, and I think it might be better than Top Gun.
Let's think about this.
Right,
okay,
so-
is it because it's dated? Do you think a little
Yeah,
bit
so
dated?
I don't think it's recency bias for me. I just love Maverick. I just think the music, the story, I just love it.
love the story.
Because I watched the
amazing.
80s one within the last 5 months as well, and that is good. Don't get me wrong.
What's the
It's
story
got a little
of the
bit
80s
of the 80s. Well, it's mainly about Goose. They obviously go to Top Gun. So 2 pilots fall out of Top Gun where they get sent. I can't remember what happens. One guy, he kind of loses it when he's up there, and they think, oh god, he can't go on.
it.
Then Goose and Maverick get signed up for it, so they're kind of like the first reserve. Then they all go to Top Gun. Huge tragedy with Goose, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they have to. They end up having like a dogfight in the end, and then that's where Iceman and him say, "You can be my wingman anytime" and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But that's very loose. Of what the story is more than that.
What's
A
the
lot more than
story? Well, what's the story? Like,
Why are they
just-
Why are they
them-
there?
them going to Top Gun.
that's it.
No, but they're also fighting. They're
they're
fighting the
fighting
Russian
in Russia,
MiGs.
aren't they?
Yes, yeah.
Fighting the Russian MiGs.
And they have like a dog fight, because I think I can't remember if it was like a training thing. I remember Maverick better because I've seen it more recently. I know exactly what they had, that mission, didn't they? And they had that steep climb.
Yeah.
They needed to nail that thing there. Then they had
In
the
a couple of
MiGs.
minutes.
Yeah.
The silos come online, then they need to get out of there. I know that one a bit better, but the 80s one, it was about them going to Top Gun, and then I'm wondering if it was like they had those jets come in, wasn't it?
Russian MiGs.
And then they
Yeah,
started having like a dogfight with them. or
Yeah. It was always like the
I need to watch
Russians
it. I
or
need to watch
the
it.
whatever
something.
it was.
But I'm gonna say I think Maverick's better. And
It probably is.
They're making number 3 as
What
well.
we
What?
need.
Yeah.
Oh,
Honestly,
my
I've
God,
seen it.
really?
I'm like really excited about it. I think 2026 there's like a Top Gun 3, and I'm like really excited about it.
Oh my god.
That's going to be called like Mighty Goose or something.
I tell you what, if we all go to see
Top
that,
Gun Mighty Goose.
Mighty Ducks. I think they would call it that. I think us three should go and see that in the cinema.
I'll be keen for that.
I am keen. Book me in. I'm in.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be Tom Cruise because I think he's aging backwards as well. So he's like a vampire. He's like, how old is he?
I've got. So
How old is he?
I work with
57 or something?
I reckon he's older.
I work with some people who go down the conspiracy route, right? And I got one for you. You know these people that you're saying, Tom Cruise, Will Smith, they're all aging backwards, right?
Some of them. Pharrell's one of them. He's in Pharrell. He looks about 20.
Go, Med. I got a feeling.
So, have you ever heard about the pizza theory?
This is not what I was thinking.
Absolutely not.
So, no, you may hear in the celebrity world that people say, maybe in a comment or in a magazine or something, that they said, that was a really nice pizza party we had the other night, right? Etc. Or a big party where pizza was involved, right? So the conspiracy theory I've heard is that at these parties, they are actually being fed stem cells taken illegally from infants. These celebrities.
Okay.
This is
They're eating babies.
They're eating babies. This is the kind of chat that I have at work in between trains.
I like a conspiracy theory. That is.
And I'm looking at this guy like,
stem cell treatment sounds amazing. Say if like your knee is shot to pieces, you can get stem cell treatment, and your knee is like really like better. Yeah. But like, what are they eating it to get younger? What are we talking?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to Google the pizza theory.
Maybe the stem cells arrive and they drink it. I don't know.
That reminds me of what is that film when you've got those two women and they really want to like reverse their aging?
Death becomes a
Bruce
that
Willis.
is a great film of Bruce
Yes,
Willis.
Bruce
Great
Willis.
film.
Yes.
Meryl Streep.
Yes.
And
It's got a massive
Goldie
hole in her
Hawn.
belly.
It's really good.
The neck's like on the wrong bit.
It's such a good film.
It's kind of like a Tim Burton movie. I don't think it is Tim Burton,
No.
but you know those weird 90s, like Edward Scissorhands, like you know those weird 90s movies? It's like one of them.
He's amazing in that. Bruce
He is
Willis.
very,
very,
very
he's
good.
hilarious, isn't he? He's
I'm gonna say that's one of his best. I reckon.
Little Shop of Horrors, another classic.
That's,
remember that?
Yeah, that's Rick.
Oh yeah,
Rick Moranis.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Oh,
not.
right.
It just reminded me of that sort of age weird movies. You know,
Is it Rick? Is it Moranis?
the guy with the glasses.
Rick Morales.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, Henry Shrunk the Kids.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
You know, you've pulled that out of the bag if that's his name, because I'd never
Sure
be
it
able
is.
to name that actor.
Rick
ever.
Moranis. I'm sure it is.
That's a belter if you've named
Yeah,
that.
the
was a
Burbs. We're going on. The Burbs film is.
So good.
It's in my top 10.
It's so good. Tom Hanks is great in that. Those weirdos are great in it. When he's like
Klopex.
stuff in that black bag and that bin on the drive.
Rick Moranis.
Oh, nailed it. That's a belter.
I think he's been in the film since 1986 or something. Still remember his name.
He's in Batteries Not Included, isn't he? Have you seen that?
I have
dunno.
seen that, but
It's a really
not
sad
for a
Spielberg
long
film
time.
from his early days.
Oh, okay.
About,
Short-
about robots.
Do you remember? You know what? I was going to say talk about Short Circuit, but you know what? I got a way more interesting movie. Inner Space.
Oh my god, that's one of my favourite films.
How good was that?
Dennis Quaid.
When they
Quaid.
go, they shrink them,
shrink
and
it.
they
Yeah.
go in the bloodstream. That's hell of a movie.
So, and the plan is to like fix internal things or
Yeah.
remove cancer. And
that's
stuff
what
like
it
that.
is, isn't it?
Such a good film.
And he's supposed to be injected into a bunny, but
it goes into a guy's bum.
rival. I've seen this film so many times. A massive company want the technology, so they break into the lab while he's going to get injected into the bunny, and to save him, someone injects him into the bum of a guy in a safe way.
Quaid.
In a safe way.
Yeah, and I think the guy he gets injected into.
Jack Potter.
Yeah, but he's the guy who, from Father of the Bride.
Yeah.
The really like
Eccentric.
camp guy.
He is.
Do you remember him?
He's a lunatic. He's a lunatic in this
in that.
film, man. Jack Potter, he's called. He is hilarious.
Oh, I
That
love
is
his
a
old
great
movies.
film.
But yeah, Short Circuit,
Space.
Short Circuit 2. I remember loving them as a kid.
More input.
Yeah,
No disassemble, Stephanie.
that's it. And he has a mohawk in number 2 because he's a badass.
Yeah, how are we going to change this,
I
guys?
think they made 5 of those films.
I think I only
Wow.
saw 2 of them.
God, they strung that one out.
Circuit.
100%
I wonder.
Yeah.
Go back to Top Gun, right?
Yeah.
The only way I think we're going to know is we need someone who watched Top Gun in the cinema, as well as Maverick in the
Well,
cinema.
yeah, there's a few about.
It
There'll be
was
a few.
like 80s though, innit? So, but yeah, obviously, like people would have seen Top Gun.
My dad would
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Oh, did you have a chat? Maybe did he like Maverick a bit more?
I didn't ask whether he liked it, but the first one better or the second one better. But we just walked out of there like just absolutely buzzing.
I feel like
buzzing.
Do you know what, that
feel-good movie.
soundtrack though, it was because I got it on Apple Music, isn't it? I listen to it occasionally.
Is it Alan Silvestri?
It's Hang
Who
on.
does the score?
Who's the person you
Hans.
saw live? Hans
Zimmer.
One of them is
Oh, he
rewritten
is.
by Hans.
Yeah, yes.
And it's even got Lady Gaga's in a part of it as well, but it is Hans Zimmer.
okay.
I don't know whether he did that original 80s one, but I feel like he revamped it for
Yeah.
Maverick.
Oh, you mean the guitar at the start? Like,
The score.
Yeah, so it's
Like
called
the-
like main theme, I think, or Top Gun main
That's
theme.
it.
And then there's another one which is like the end credits, which is like another amazing one as well.
The kids just started watching Goonies.
Oh, great.
Amazing.
Great.
So good.
Yeah.
I was giggling to myself because we had it on the car on the way in the van on the way down to Bluestone last week, and the scene with Chunk. You know when he drops the baby root and Sloth goes absolutely nuts.
Yes.
And then Chunk's like, "Geez, Mister, you're even hungrier than I am." Mate, that scene, I just giggle into myself in the front.
So good.
How good
So
are those
good.
kids as like actors as well? They're like so believable. Like I'm on about Mouth and him doing the truffle show, like all that sort of Brolin. What's his name? Josh Brolin, is it?
Josh Brolin,
like,
yeah.
Just that collective of like young adults and kids.
Yeah.
They're just all like the guy from The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Data.
Sean Austin.
Yeah, Sean Austin. They're all just really good.
Data, he had a really good run in that period, like the mid 80s, I guess, to the early 90s. But I think he just like dropped off a cliff. Maybe he just didn't act anymore.
Yeah, I don't really
He's
remember.
the kid in Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, as well, isn't he?
But
Short Round. And he had the little blocks on his feet to drive.
that's it.
Yep, short round.
I
Short Round.
love indie movies.
So good. I'll tell you who was amazing in the indie movies is River Phoenix.
Yes.
On the start of the first,
Mate, the
Yeah, the
mannerisms of River
Yeah.
Phoenix is exactly the same as Harrison Ford.
I know.
Yeah, and I'll
Just
always remember one scene about
perfect.
that. He cracks the whip, right, and he cuts
Yeah.
himself under the lip,
Like,
and then
pierced the
you
scar.
realise that like Harrison Ford's got like a visible scar there, and it's great
So
casting,
good.
isn't it? Really good casting,
So good.
Yeah,
And
really,
Stand By
Who
Me.
directed that? That's Spielberg, is it?
Spielberg.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Lucas.
With Luke. Or
I think
was
it's both,
was it
isn't
Luke
it?
Besson?
I think
No,
it's
it's not Luke
both.
No, Luc Besson was Deep Blue and Leon and stuff.
That's it.
I'm thinking George
Leon,
Lucas.
Deep Blue.
Yeah, it's Lucas and Spielberg, I think.
Yeah, I'm
Could
sure
be.
it
I'd
is.
have to. Yeah, you know what? You're probably right. Spielberg sounds right to me.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but so good.
Stand By Me.
Yeah, great.
yeah, I watched
Stephen
that.
King again.
Yeah.
Belter.
It's called The
Lost Boys.
Body, isn't it?
It is. It's called The Body,
Body.
and it's also got The Shawshank in the same book of short stories. The short story collection is called
Shawshank?
Seasons, I think it's called.
Shawshank Redemption is a short story.
So he also wrote The Green Mile, Stephen King. So he wrote this. He wrote The Green Mile and The Shawshank Redemption.
He's like the Samuel
And,
L. Jackson of authors, isn't he?
He's probably wrote some terrible ones too, to be fair. But Running Man and Shawshank and The Green Mile and The Dome and so many. The Mist.
The
You
Mist.
could go on and on,
I
like
watched The
all
Mist.
the stories
Misery.
that he's done.
Misery.
Yeah, that was
free
like
on Prime at the moment.
Pet
that's one of his
Cemetery.
early books.
Free on Prime at the moment.
Hobbled. I don't think I'd like to have that done to
Wouldn't
me.
like to get hobbled, no.
No.
No thanks. Especially not by her.
Kathy. No.
Naughty man. Throws the books on his legs. Thanks for that. She is hit.
Oh my gosh, she was frightening in that.
Hand
Absolutely
that
frightening.
rocks the cradle.
Good film.
Banger.
Just thinking of like that era, you know.
That's where the bunny
90s.
boiler phrase comes from, isn't it?
No.
That's
Oh.
no, that is
No, it's not.
Indeed, no, not. I always get this wrong.
Ooh.
We spoke about this in a
Indecent
previous
Proposal.
episode.
No, it's not that
No,
one.
it's not that. I always get it wrong.
It's Michael Douglas, isn't it?
It is. I have to Google it. You know, it's not Indecent Proposal, but it's like Fatal Attraction.
Fatal Attraction. Okay,
Fatal
Hand That
Attraction.
Rocks the
That's
Cradle is the girl who kind of tries to breastfeed someone else's baby and stuff.
She's trying. It's not Munchausen's, is it? That's when you. Think
No, Munchausen's is when you
Want them to be ill.
want them to be
Yeah,
ill.
that's it.
Or
can't remember
Munchausen's by proxy.
I can't
Yes.
remember the term, but I think it begins with an M. But yeah, she's trying to make the baby be hers, sort of thing. Because
Bizarre.
she suffered a miscarriage, I think.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, it's really
Didn't she,
sad. It's really sad.
kidnap
Like,
as well, is it? I can't remember. I just remember her being a really good actress, and I'd never seen her anything else.
there's lots of attempted murders and stuff in it. No, I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to look.
Long
She
time.
was a
since I've watched
banger
it.
as well. Prisoners with Hugh Jackman
Yeah, very
and
Very,
Jake
very, very good.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
The ending
It's
to
like
that
your
movie.
worst nightmare as a parent, basically. And I
Yes,
reckon you would
yes.
go to those lengths because
bet.
if you think that's what's happened,
Yes.
if anyone hasn't seen that film, watch that film.
Oh, it's so
So good.
Yeah, I watched it probably in the last 2 years, and I think it was better than I remembered it, because
It is brilliant.
the ending where you've got like quite a big twist in the ending, haven't you?
Yep.
And then the bit when he's just standing around that car in the end, and you can hear like, is it like a faint whistle or something? He can hear something, can't he? Like under that car. It's just so good, isn't it? It's so good.
I'm going to switch this up a tiny bit now, but I thought of a question. If you could ask a question and you'd 100% get the truth back, right?
Oh, I like this.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed truth, right? And you've got like, I don't know, 2 questions. It's like, I don't know, go to heaven or whatever it is. Do you know what I'd love to know?
Ooh, yeah.
What actually happened to Madeleine McCann? Do you know, like,
Who are you
I don't
asking?
know what actually happened to her, but what I want to know is, because I don't believe it for a second that it's her parents.
I don't believe it either.
Because what motive do they have?
Who are you
believe
asking?
it.
Zero motive, huh?
Who's your question to?
Oh no, but it's
just a
do
special,
something,
yeah.
and the truth comes back, 100% truth. I'd love to know what actually happened, because it was at the time, it was in all the press, it was in all the papers, it was on
huge
all the
story.
news, it was huge,
Yeah.
What
and there
about
was
this,
all
what
this
about this girl claiming to be her?
absolute rubbish.
Let's do a
Well, yeah,
DNA
'cause
test.
I think the
Surely a DNA test.
It's turned into clickbait now.
Yeah, but
course it
can't,
has.
can't you just do a DNA test like quite simply if they're both up for it? Is in like one of the parents of the McCanns and then her, and then you could quite easily disprove that. Like if
course
it
you
was,
could.
like quite easy. Like
But there's a Netflix documentary of someone doing pretty much the same thing. He pretended to be someone's son who had disappeared a long, long time ago. It was like an American family, and he was from like Greece or something.
I think I've seen that.
And he was
documentary.
he was the same age.
Yeah.
It was. I can't believe. But the problem is the family was so desperate.
Oh, it's horrible.
They kind of like accepted
Yeah,
him. Like, oh
yeah.
my god, it is our son.
Because that's all
It's
they wanted.
horrible.
Yeah, it's
Horrible.
Just, yeah. Horrible.
I remember latching onto a theory that I don't think has been disproved, and I think unfortunately there was a lot of sex trafficking going
Yes.
on, and I think
I'm thinking down the
unfortunately
same.
I think that's what's happened.
I agree. I think it ended up one of those disgusting websites and almost being like sold and like it's gross. I can't think about it too deeply, but I
horrific.
think just something really horrible like that, like snatched and
Snatched
gone.
out that
It's
window.
pretty much like the worst thing ever. And then there was an eyewitness to some guy. I always think that's gross. A guy carrying a girl in like basically her pajamas. And like, I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that.
Oh,
does it?
don't.
You know what I mean? It doesn't get any
No,
worse than that.
I didn't
does
mean
it?
to lower the tone. I'm just trying to like, it'd be quite interesting if you could just ask a question.
Yeah.
That would be a great.
Yeah.
I tell you what.
Or kind of to give the parents some peace as well, isn't it? Or any parent of someone who's
That's
lost
the
a
thing.
child
Lots
or a
and
mum
lots,
or
like, it's just horrible, isn't it? It happens a lot apparently. And then obviously, like that had a little bit of like, almost like backlash. I remember that I did because apparently, if you look at like the number of kids going missing,
Yeah.
even at that age category,
Yep.
and it just happened to be like a white, blue-eyed girl,
Young girl,
and the
blonde,
picture in the paper,
right.
and it just sold, didn't it? And it went, and you think like.
middle class.
It's quite sad, isn't it? Really, and it still goes on in America apparently. Like where if you just get like I don't know, like a white
Yeah.
child, and it'll just get like a little bit more time. It's pretty horrible, really, isn't it?
The race divide and all that
Yeah,
sort of
it's
thing.
horrible.
It
It's
is.
horrible. Going back to your question,
Yeah.
I think one of the obvious ones is what happens after you die, isn't it?
That'd be
That's
Really
probably
good question.
the biggest one I'd say because it literally will affect everybody, and I kind of, I believe you're just kind of like, that's it.
Yeah.
And you worm food. But
would you want to know?
I've got a theory. I got a theory about life on Earth
okay,
and death and stuff. You know how I'm going to similarize it to water on Earth, right? The amount of water on Earth only could change if an asteroid full of ice landed on Earth and added to it, right?
Yeah.
Everything's a cycle. I think that because we're carbon-based life forms, I think that there is only an amount of life on Earth ever. And I think that as things pass away and more life begins, etc., I think it's this huge, constant going thing. So I think when you die, my belief is that you just are put into the next thing.
reincarnation essentially. It sounds very
Yeah.
similar to
Yes,
reincarnation.
but you're not you in any way. Like
No,
you
no.
have no memories.
I understand that is in your previous lives, and you're saying you could be a guy, and then you might be a plant next. As in you don't have to be.
You're just a
anything's-
form of life.
So you could.
No.
So then deja vu comes into that
It does.
when you think this is weird.
Or a glitch in the Matrix.
There is that, but then you do. It does feel so real. When deja vu hits you, and you're thinking, "Okay, that was weird. I've definitely been here before, or I've seen that before, or that scenario before."
I've smelt something before.
Yeah.
It smells so powerful.
So
Yeah.
deja vu. I've read a theory that deja vu is only ever in the moment you experience it. It's not about a past thing. It's like you've just tripped over your brain.
So how does it feel twice?
That's the thing.
So
It's like you're like,
It's weird, isn't it?
and you have this glitch, and you're just like, oh, I've done this before. I've felt this before, but it's only ever in that moment. It's not a
weird.
memory.
It just feels like a memory, doesn't it? Yeah.
It really does. My question would be, is there life out there? You know,
That's another huge question,
Yeah.
isn't it?
is there alien races?
Well, the thing we did discuss,
We did touch on that, didn't we?
before, didn't we?
Last,
and you think
three
there is
episodes.
something going on out there. I think it's too
can't-
big for it not to be.
I agree.
I can't think that there's so much vastness out there, and we happen by chance. You know, I believe if we happen by chance. I don't know how it wouldn't happen again somewhere else. You know?
Yeah.
It's, even if they're more advanced, less advanced, whatever. I don't know.
Even if it's like a tadpole on like a pond
Yeah.
in like a planet somewhere, you think or it's the
It's the
beginning.
start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the start of the evolution process if you believe in evolution or whatever you believe in, really. But like, I think there's got to be something out there, right? Out of you know, the infinity planets almost. There just has to be.
What about
I just do believe that.
Yeah.
where the hell is that Malaysian Airlines plane?
Oh,
The Bermuda Triangle.
The MH370 or whatever it is. So basically, there's like 300 people still in their seatbelts at the moment, at the bottom of the ocean somewhere.
I'm thinking ocean. Yeah,
gotta be.
yeah.
because
It's too vast, that ocean, isn't it?
and also like when you go down to some of the depths, isn't it? There's a particular trench. I'm thinking I can't remember the name of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Like you know,
That's in
you
between-
can't even really explore it properly.
No.
That's
You
over
know?
there. That's in between us and America.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just giving an example of a trench. Like,
Deepest
that
part
happens
of
to
the
be
ocean.
the deepest. But what I mean is, there's plenty of trenches, and there's plenty of deep parts of the ocean.
There's
It's hard to
drones
know.
out there at the moment. Apparently, there's like way more advanced than what they've ever been, and they are scrolling the seabed where that plane is potentially.
It's also visibility,
So
though,
the-
isn't
the
it?
hunt
Of
is still
visibility
going
of
on.
The
the
hunt
sea.
is still going on. I saw a little clip the other day about this company that's got involved, and they're
Wow.
gunning for it. They're really trying.
Yeah, I used to think this when I used to lose my wallet or lose something in the house or whatever. I just love to see a little camera on it.
Tracker.
So it's like, so it just sort of just shows you a little glimpse, like a little clue, you know. And you're like, oh, where the hell? I recognise that wallpaper or something.
Oh,
You
mate, I
know
lost
what
my headphones last week. They've gone.
Oh,
I went to
no.
buy some more. I don't know where the hell they've gone because they're in
Do
a
you mean
little
your
case.
in-ear ones?
Yeah, they're in a little
Do you
case.
want mine? Because
No,
I
thank you.
I can't. The one in my right ear just falls out all the time.
I bought some more, but next time when I lose the next
yeah,
ones,
please have them.
I'll definitely
I
have
can't
them.
get on with them.
Are they trackable ones? I've
Go
got
on.
trackable ones, so you can
Oh,
from
nice.
your phone you can find them, and you
That-
can find one of them, or the other one, or the pair of them, or the box.
Didn't know that.
They're
No.
Apple though, so they're not
Oh,
like
no.
cheap. But what I mean is like you can track them.
I
You
didn't
know,
know.
you can probably track other brands as well by somehow linking
Tried.
it or something.
Well, there's
I don't know.
Sony. There's Sony, and I
Okay.
couldn't. I tried all that. I downloaded
Right,
the Sony
okay.
app,
Right, okay.
I bet
But
Apple
it
had the
Yeah,
patent
yeah.
or something.
but they have to be on and connected, and
Right.
mine would be in the case
Somewhere.
and off.
Yeah,
so
oh,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah,
chance.
yeah, yeah.
So no
Somewhere.
chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think because I've seen a funny video online. I think it was actually a guy called Mashtag who makes like TikToks. His earphone, one of them or both of them, got stolen, right? And then he filmed it all and he tracked them. He was literally tracking them all, and he confronted the guy. He had to travel like miles to get this guy.
No
and he
way.
goes, "Mate, you've got my." He goes, "You've got my earphone."
Doing your
Just like
ears.
listening to that.
Yeah,
What's that,
yeah,
mate?
you've literally got them. Yeah. So you can like literally go and confront these people because it's almost like they've got an internal Apple tag, if you've heard of one of them, where you can just, it's like a tracker.
It's like Find My Phone.
Yes,
Yeah,
the same thing, isn't it?
It's the same thing. It's on the same
Yeah.
app. It's the same thing, but you can do it with any Apple product that you have, or I think, you know, but yeah, for instance.
Here's a controversial question then. Should children up to the age of, I don't know, 10, because they start to get like a bit more weary about themselves and
Yeah.
aware and stuff, should they have a tracker?
Mate, lots of people do.
Because
You know.
imagine if Madeline McCann had a tracker.
Yeah. Mate, you can buy insoles for kids, because me and Nick have looked at it before, and they're an insole, and they've got a cutout in the bottom of the insole, the right size for an Apple AirTag. So if they go on a school trip, if they go, I don't
Well,
know,
just anywhere away for a while. Like,
even abroad or whatever, you can. I think people put them in their coats.
I don't. I'm not against that idea.
You know what I mean?
No, it's because like, God forbid if anything ever did happen, you'd be
Awful.
like, are they here?
Yeah.
Or they're okay. They're just
Yeah.
with their mate, or
Yeah.
Or if something bad did happen, you're like, there they are.
Still find
Let's go get 'em.
Yeah. So I don't. Yeah, and I think there's kids watches that do it as well. There's like a whole market out there for parents based on this stuff.
I've heard of the watch.
Tags, watches, and things like that, and then you can literally track them. Yeah, for that exact reason, just a safety thing.
Yeah.
And then when they do, obviously we've talked about this. We don't need to talk about it again. We can do, but when they do get phones, because that's like a real hot topic, isn't it? About when you give your child a phone or when you allow your child to have a phone, then obviously through your family contacts phones, I think you track your children through their phones then. Because I've just heard people like I work with who have older kids, they track their kids.
Yeah.
Using the phone.
I probably will.
I think I will.
Yeah. Yes, but I'll tell them. I'll tell them. I'm not going to be like...
I didn't mean it was a secret or...
No.
Safety aspect.
Of course it is.
Total,
just to know where you guys are, that's all.
Totally different when they're like older maybe, but then again, like even then, if they weren't bothered by it, you I don't know, maybe you'd want to track them. Like you never stop being a parent, and according to my mum, she always tells me you never stop worrying. I used to ask my mum, like, when are you going to stop worrying about me? Like, say I was like 19, 20. And my mum said, never. And I'll always remember saying it, never. I'll never stop worrying about you. Doesn't matter how old you are, what goes on, never. So that never ends.
We're an hour in.
Beautiful.
Oh, wait. Oh, you know what I was going to touch on? Because we did touch on it a second ago, right? I was going to ask, have you been watching anything good recently, right? The reason why I was going to bring it up is because I've seen two particularly good documentaries recently, and I was going to ask if you've seen them, right? One of them, I have to describe it. It's a young couple who go like traveling in a white van.
Yes.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen that.
She's got an unusual name.
Yeah, she's tries to be an influencer. And
Yes,
I've seen that.
That was good. And then, hang on, there was another one I watched about. It was either a Mormon church, and essentially this mother, she's got she had 5 children, and she was like a vlogger as well, and she had a lot of followers. And it starts with one of the children running to a neighbouring house, and it's caught on Ring doorbell, and he's saying he's being abused. That's in that. Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen that one.
I'm not going to like ruin it because it's actually like a brand new one. Hulu originally did it. I'll Google it now, right?
Yeah.
If anybody out there hasn't seen that,
you sent it over to us, didn't you, in the group? Because you were like, you said it's amazing, and you were absolutely infuriating as well.
It's unbelievable.
I think it's the same one.
I watched a lot of religious-based abuse, murder, all this sort of stuff, like in a row, and I got so sick of it because it's like the same.
Yeah.
So it's like. It's so horrific. It gets covered up. No one thinks they're doing it, and it just wound me up.
What's that one? Not Sleepers, the film, but there's something. The Keepers.
Keepers, yeah.
That is absolutely grim.
Sorry, Ruby Frank is the name, and it's called Devil in the Family.
Okay.
Oh my god.
On Netflix, yeah.
Belt it. Unfortunately, not. I just remembered where I watched it. The Stick of Dreams. So yeah, I think it's Hulu. So you know what? Actually, Disney. I think Disney's linked to Hulu, so you can watch it on Disney.
You covered yourself there, mate. Well done.
Well done. Yeah.
I watched it on Disney.
Yeah, all paid for.
My good thing that I've been watching recently is a bit different. It's Yellowstone. Kevin Costner.
I gave it a go, and I couldn't get
I'm hearing
into
good
it.
things. I'm hearing good things.
I can't stop watching that.
How far are you into it now?
Season 4, episode 6.
Oh, you're quite... Also, there's like... I'm not going to remember the date. There's like a
1893 and 1993
so
or something.
You can go through and watch like
Harrison
all of them.
Harrison Ford's in the early one, I think. Ooh. And it's the heritage of how Yellowstone became
and
a ranch and stuff.
Duttons, is it?
The Duttons, yeah.
I watched like... I don't know, 70% of the first season, and it wasn't that it wasn't good. I think there was like a documentary that we wanted to watch, and then you kind of like
you get it
out the loop.
I watched American Primeval. Seen that?
No, not yet.
That's on Netflix.
Enzo told me to watch that.
Really good.
What's
I
it
need
about?
to watch it
because I don't. Well, it's weird. I don't like the name.
It's really good. I don't know. I can't
that is a good reason.
I know it's terrible.
I couldn't give you the dates, but it's the time of like the cowboys, the Indians, the Mormons. It's just like these different sanctions around America where they're just fighting for land, fighting for people. It's grim in some parts.
I bet.
And I would not want to live in those times.
Yeah.
No way.
Is it good though?
Really good.
Really good, yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's about, there's like obviously little stories intertwined into it. It's a bit of a love story, it's a bit of a journey. Yeah, it's the scalping. Scalping.
Oh, fuck. Got a good one then.
Brutal.
What's the... By best, I mean probably the grossest. What is the best death you've seen on in a film?
Straight away, I think of Titanic, because remember that thing that watch, this is the worst death ever. Do you remember that?
Oh, the guy falling?
The captain.
Captain Birdseye.
Oh,
I think it was Dave's first time he's watched
To be
it.
fair, right,
horrible.
I should have seen it coming. Like, I know the history of Titanic.
And also, we all know it sinks, to be fair. The ball
Yeah.
waggers. Right, hang on, sorry. Best, most, what, gruesome...
maybe memorable. Where
I've got one.
You go,
I've got a good
I'm
one.
struggling to think at the moment.
You don't actually see the death. You see the aftermath. And it's when Hooper goes down under the boat, and that in Jaws, and the head pops out.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, the eyeball.
The eyeball.
One. Oh, yeah.
So Steven Spielberg and his producer, whoever did the film with him, when that first came out in the cinemas, they used to go in and sneak in the cinemas just before that scene came on.
Just to watch that.
Just to watch the reaction.
Oh, I bet it.
Mate,
I bet it
people
nailed it every
hitting
time.
the ceiling.
Roy wasn't it Ben Gardner? Ben Gardner.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's a bell too. I've thought of two. I'll go with two, right? So quickly, Alien,
Oh, out the chest.
100%, and then the other one is Seven, the guy who eats his own tongue, and the room is
they keep him
covered
alive.
in the car air fresheners. And I remember the cop says, "I've never seen anybody who must have gone through that much pain as that guy did." And he eventually just died of a flashlight in his eyes or something, because he was just tortured for that long, and they had Polaroids
whole
of
year?
every time he went and tortured him, and he was what's the right word? When you just got no weight on you.
Emancipated.
Yes, emancipated, ate his own tongue, and that is got to be one of the worst deaths ever.
Just keeps him alive for
Just
a whole year.
barely,
to torture him.
just to torture him. I mean, that's pretty gross thinking about that. Any of the
Med?
seven ones.
Have you? So what? I haven't gotten over this death because
Here
it
we
was
go.
horrible. Have you ever seen Bone Tomahawk?
I know exactly what you're
Yes.
going to say, because I've actually only seen this scene. 'Cause
Only seen
it was
the
on
hacking of the guy in it,
Yes, I've seen that Bone Tomahawk. Yeah.
So the whole film, right, it's a good film. It's not a great film, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then when they get into those prison cells, when they get captured by the indigenous men or whatever, honestly, it just takes such a turn, and it's almost like a Quentin Tarantino film. It crescendos, right? The last part of the film is horrific, and that death, I
They cut him in half, don't they, basically?
yeah, upside down, and one of them's holding his legs, and they use a jawbone of a horse.
That's it.
It's never seen anything like it.
That sounds like Ed Gein or something. Do you remember? Have you ever seen that photo?
horrible.
He hung up a woman in his barn, and I think it was what Silence of the Lambs hangs the guy up in the cage.
Yeah.
Oh, the angel.
That was based on what Ed Gein did in his barn on his farm, and they're making one of them. So do you remember? I think it's Netflix again. Do you remember they made?
Dharma.
Yes, a Dharma one. The same people who made that are doing an Ed Gein one.
Ed Gein was pretty creepy. I think
Yeah.
he's the one who had a coffee table.
Milwaukee, I think it is.
He had a coffee table made out of shin bones and all sorts of horrible stuff. So the legs of that coffee table were actually tibias.
And he had a lamp
goodness me.
which had skin on. I think he had a belt made of nipples.
That's it.
I think
All pretty normal. All pretty sound.
I think
like.
Leatherface was some stuff was loosely based on that guy, because he's just such freak.
What about the guy from Silence of the Lambs though, who wore women? Was Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo Bill. I mean, I don't know whether that was loosely based on Ed Gein either. I don't know.
Oh.
Mate, crime. People
Crime.
love crime.
True crime.
True crime. We're just fascinated by it because we don't.
Fascinated by it.
You just want to see it.
can't
You can't
understand
help
it.
but look at it. You just want to watch it.
If
You want to
it-
know
if
the
it,
truth.
If it bleeds, it reads.
That's what a Mickey Boy said. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's true, isn't it? There's when you that classic thing of they say, if you drive past a car accident, you can't help but look.
Oh mate, rubberneckers.
I think it's just that type of thing. It's like
you
the
just wanna
curiosity aspect of it.
Just make it more paranoid though. Do you remember Crime Watch?
Yes.
Yeah.
That music
Horrible.
used to scare the hell out of me.
Reenactments.
Yeah.
999 used to scare me.
Yes, Michael Burke.
Michael Burke.
There was one filmed in Devil's Bridge.
I know. I remember
Remember
it.
that? Someone fell down the
steps.
it was the steps.
But not the Jacob's Ladder side, the normal side.
so into the
I don't
into the
remember that.
water as well.
Into a swirling pit of doom.
Flipping heck.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Or
Some
Burke.
of them, on the reenactments, sometimes the people in the reenactments have been the people committing the crimes. It's happened a few times.
Hang on.
What?
Go.
So what I mean is it happens in America, not just the UK Crime Watch. So, when they're making a reenactment, you obviously have to have an actor who is playing the perpetrator.
And extras and stuff.
And extras, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, like very, very occasionally, obviously not often, the person who is acting as the killer, they found out later on that it was him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he's been there before.
Yes.
He knows what's going
Because
on.
he's someone
he knows how to do
local.
it.
Or another classic as well is, when everyone goes out and tries to find the body and the girl, sometimes they join, don't they?
Of course they do,
And
yeah.
they're in it because they love everything about it. They love
attention.
the news, the attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get interviewed.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, no, I'm just trying to help out.
Crocodile tears. I
I
do like those stories.
Yeah, the mind
Yeah.
of a killer or whatever.
All right. Just read it there.
Yeah.
I'm happy to. Yeah.
Nice.
That's good.
Well done. Thank
Guys.
you.